And welcome back into the Sports Source. As you see right there, last-minute gifts available at Fast Frame for the Vol fan in your life. Look at all the different types of volunteer prints, paintings, anything you could want. They have it. Great place to go. And, of course, Fast Frame and the people there at Fast Frame, who I've known for years, and you've known through this show for years, wish you a very Merry Christmas and a terrific holiday season. Fast Frame. Okay, guys, we're pretty much on schedule here. I'm not used to that. So everybody here gets about 30, 45 seconds to answer their question. And, enough for the diversity and inclusiveness. Now it's just back to the old-fashioned Christmas. Bob Hodge, you write for a Cole publication. What does athletic director Dave Hart deserve this year? A gift in his stocking or a lump of coal?
Boy, I tell you what, I would almost say that he stumbled in to a gift in his stocking, but I'm going to give him coal because, one, I didn't like the way he handled the situation with the field. I thought his answers and the way he talked about the field was not very good. And two, he didn't want Butch Jones as his first choice. He stumbled into him. He hires Donnie Tyndall, and then he stumbles into Rick Barnes. I don't really think that you can keep just getting lucky and getting better guys all the way through, and you leave the athletic department in better shape. So I'm going to give him a small lump of coal. High BTU, though. Low sulfur.
That's pretty harsh. I would give him a gift, and here's why. He's hired to do two things. Improve the finances, get football back on track.
In spite of himself.
Well, there are other coaches that weren't the first choice.
True.
Nick Saban wasn't the first choice at Alabama. They went and talked to a couple other coaches who, Rich Rod turned them down. So I still give him credit for getting Nick Saban. But I think most people would agree with you.
Huge. They would want Dave Hart before he came here?
They would want a coal truck.
He was at Alabama, so he learned there how to make the first choice.
He wasn't there when Saban was hired, I don't think. Maybe he was. Don't care. Mike Strange.
Yes.
What was the biggest nutcracker of the year? There's the big nutcracker right there. Was it multiple blown leads in football or having to fire Donnie Tyndall after just one season?
Boy, that's a tough one. Football was basically a feel-good story this year. Could have been a feel-great story, but it was only a feel-good story. So I hate to throw that as the nutcracker where basketball had a terrible thing happen to it, but football is so much more important here that I almost will go with the nutcracker, the blown leads, because if it hadn't been for just one of those blown leads, they would have been in Atlanta playing the SEC championship game.
I'll still go with having you hired a coach and then you had to fire him immediately. And I do think you mark off Dave Hart for
Cole.
For that vetting, for that the Tyndall situation, but that would have been 2000.
And the
hiring would have been 2014,
right.
not 2015.
Right. Yeah.
So, all right, Jimmy Himes, take a look at the number of Vols up there on the screen who are eligible to leave early next season for the NFL. Is there a reason to be concerned that they could all dash away all?
I think you're worried about three, and those three, two of them are running backs, and one of them is Derek Barnett. And I think I think there's a pretty good chance that you'll lose two of those. I think Barnett likely will end up going. I think he's going to be projected pretty high. I think Hurd is going to be projected pretty high. Running backs, even though they've been devalued a little bit in the NFL, they still realize that their life expectancy is limited. And so I think you see more and more running backs decide to turn pro early just to save their legs for the NFL. So I think there's a concern about Barnett, Hurd, and Kamara.
It does set up for an interesting 2017, though. If you lose a bunch of those guys, and Dobbs will be gone, assuming he makes it all the way through next year and is your starting quarterback the whole way, which you would think he would be, you're going to lose your quarterback, you're going to lose your senior class, you could lose a bunch of juniors. At some point, you're getting into that. If you lose a bunch of them, then you're looking at the Les Miles situation where you're going to have a lot of holes to fill, and people might not want to hear the excuse that people left early.
Yeah, he lost 20 in 3 years.
Yeah. 20 in 3 years, 17 in the last, in two.
In two, yeah.
Wow. Crazy. Chuck Callahan almost got fired over it, basically. I mean, that's kind of what cost him. Chuck, a famous Christmas carol speaks of the hopes and fears of all the years. Right now, UT is ranked around number 25 in several football rankings. They're also ranked around number 25 in a few recruiting rankings. Are you more hopeful about the football team or more worried about the recruiting?
I'm still more hopeful about the football team because I think that's Butch Jones has shown he can get that right. His staff can get it right. You're going to have fewer numbers, fewer scholarships available. So therefore, to me, you may not rank as high as you have in the past couple of years. So I'm not really worried yet. See how it plays out going towards that first Wednesday in February.
Had a few decommitments in the last week or so to decrease the surplus population to keep it in Christmas theme there. All right, when we come back, who won our contest? And actually, the first person to tweet me got the closest. We'll check in between the break, but the first person to tweet me had the closest answer. We'll tell you our Christmas answer, and then you'll groan. And we'll also ask, who was Tennessee's brightest star in 2015? Come on back on the Sports Source.